Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
Hola, soy Brenda Romagnelo, tu profesora de español. Bienvenidos a tu clase. Welcome to your Spanish class. I'm Brenda Romagnelo. Hoy vamos a aprender vocabulario y expresiones de negocios en español. Today we're going to learn some must-know business expressions in Spanish. The first thing that I would like to say is that because we're talking about business, negocios, we're most likely going to be using in Spanish the formal register, which requires the use of you in the formal form, which is usted. First, we're going to see different scenarios where it is appropriate to use these expressions. We'll learn some vocabulary and we'll learn some useful expressions, business expressions that you must know. Let's start with some jobs. Profesiones. Some occupations have commonly used the feminine forms, such as ingeniero or ingeniera, which are the feminine and the masculine form of these professions, or psicólogo and psicóloga for psychologist, but some others actually stay the same. For example, electricista, dentista, and periodista, which are electrician, dentist, and journalist, they always remain the same, regardless if they are a woman or a man. Repite después de mí. Repeat after me. Doctor, doctora. Dentista. Enfermero, enfermera. Maestro, maestra. Profesor, profesora. So the difference here is that usually maestro is for a teacher from kindergarten or primary school, and then from high school and university, usually we call them profesor. Contador, contadora. Abogado, abogada. Diseñador, diseñadora. Consultor financiero, consultora financiera. Secretario, secretaria. Asistente de ventas. Electricista. Plomero. Cocinero, cocinera, chef. Empresario, empresaria. Vamos a estudiar ahora un poco de vocabulario. Let's study this vocabulary. La oficina central. La oficina central. La sucursal. El departamento. El departamento. Empleado de oficina. Empleado de oficina. Gerente. Gerente. Let's have a look at some sentences that we can use with this vocabulary. La oficina central está en Madrid. La oficina central está en Madrid. Soy plomero. Soy plomero. Ella es estudiante. Es estudiante. Muy bien, vamos a practicar. Let's practice. How would you say this? The head office is in Madrid. I work in the marketing department. I am a businesswoman. I am a businessman. The answers are, número 1, number 1, la oficina central está en Madrid. Número 2, number 2, trabajo en el departamento de marketing. Número 3, soy empresaria o soy una mujer de negocios. Número 4, soy empresario o soy un hombre de negocios. Just on a side note, I would say that empresario or empresaria is used to refer to entrepreneurs or people who own their own businesses. Hombre de negocios o mujer de negocios is more a term to describe women or men who run businesses. So that's what they do, but not to introduce themselves when they're talking to somebody. Muy bien, ahora vamos a ver vocabulario y expresiones para la oficina. Let's have a look at some vocabulary and expressions for in the office. Yes, when you are in an office. Let's start with some vocabulary for the office. Vocabulario de la oficina. Let's have a look at some vocabulary for the office. We're going to start with computadora or ordenador. Some other countries in Latin America also call it computador. So for a laptop, we're going to say computadora portátil or ordenador portátil, computador portátil. Pantalla. Pantalla is the screen. Silla. Silla significa chair. Keyboard se dice teclado. Teclado. Be aware that the Spanish computer keyboard has a different layout to the standard one that you might be used to. Remember, we have different written accents to add to certain vowels, as well as the ñ, yes. So all these letters, of course, need to be in the Spanish keyboard. Diary se dice agenda. Agenda. Pen, we say in Spanish bolígrafo, or also pluma. Bolígrafo, pluma. Ratón o mouse. Ratón, mouse. Cajón. Cajón significa drawer. Teléfono. Teléfono. Be careful here. I want you to put the emphasis of this word in the second E. Teléfono. No, I don't want you to hear. I don't want to hear you saying teléfono. Okay, it's teléfono. And the last one, printer, we say impresora. Impresora. Vamos a estudiar otro vocabulario. Let's study some other vocabulary that is very important for you to know. Repeat after me. Correo electrónico, email. They're both pretty much used the same. Internet. Contraseña. Mensaje de voz. Máquina de fax. Fotocopiadora. Tarjeta de negocios. Reunión. Conferencia. Cuaderno o libreta de notas. Engrapadora. Reloj. Muy bien. Ahora vamos a ver algunas expresiones que son comunes en una oficina. So now let's have a look at some expressions that are common in an office. Repite después de mí para estudiar estas frases útiles. Repeat after me so that we practice these useful phrases. Necesito hacer algunas copias. Necesito hacer algunas copias. Me gustaría organizar una cita. Me gustaría organizar una cita. Quiero enviar un email. Quiero enviar un correo electrónico. Disculpe, tengo que tomar esta llamada. Disculpe, tengo que tomar esta llamada. Perfecto. Ahora vamos a practicar. Now let's practice. How would you say it in Spanish? I would like to arrange a meeting. I need to send a fax. Do you have a laptop? Muy bien. Entonces, so how are you going to say this? I'd like to arrange a meeting. I would like to arrange a meeting. Me gustaría organizar una reunión. I need to send a fax. ¿Cómo se dice? Necesito enviar un fax. Necesito enviar un fax? ¿Cómo se dice do you have a laptop? ¿Tiene una computadora portátil? ¿Tiene una computadora portátil? Muy bien, excelente. The next context es el mundo académico. Let's now have a look at some vocabulario and expressions that we can use in the academic world. Vamos a empezar con un poco de vocabulario. Let's start with some vocabulary. Ahora vamos a estudiar un poco de vocabulario del mundo académico. So let's study some vocabulary from the academic world. Repite después de mí. La conferencia. El seminario. La sala de conferencias. La exposición. El profesor universitario. La profesora universitaria. Medicina. Ciencias. Literatura. Informática. Arte. Here are some useful expressions. Vamos a estudiar estas frases útiles. Let's study these useful phrases. ¿Cuál es su área? ¿Cuál es su área? Estoy haciendo investigación científica. Estoy haciendo investigación científica. Tengo un diploma en Derecho. Tengo un diploma en Derecho. Voy a dar una conferencia sobre arquitectura moderna. Voy a dar una conferencia sobre arquitectura moderna. Now we're going to practice. Let's have a look at some exercises. How would you say this in Spanish? I'm doing research in medicine. I have a degree in literature. She is a professor. ¿Cómo se dice? I'm doing research in medicine. Se dice estoy haciendo investigación en medicina. ¿Cómo se dice I have a degree in literature? Tengo un diploma en literatura. How about she's the professor? Es la profesora. O ella es la profesora. Muy buen trabajo. Ahora vamos a ver un poco de vocabulario y expresiones de los negocios. Now let's have a look at some vocabulary and expressions for business. Let's start with some vocabulario, some vocabulary. Vamos ahora a estudiar vocabulario del mundo de los negocios. So now let's study vocabulary from the world of business. Repeat after me. Repite después de mí. La orden, or if we're talking about the verb, we will say ordenar. La orden, ordenar. La entrega, or if we are talking about the verb, we'll say entregar. El pago. El presupuesto. El precio. Los documentos. La factura. La estimación. Las ganancias. Las ventas. ¿Firmamos el contrato? Shall we sign the contract? ¿Firmamos el contrato? El ejecutivo. El o la cliente. El contrato. Now, let's move on to some useful expressions. Vamos a estudiar estas frases útiles. Let's study these useful phrases. ¿Me puede enviar el contrato, por favor? ¿Me puede enviar el contrato, por favor? ¿Hemos acordado un precio? ¿Hemos acordado un precio? ¿Cuándo puede hacer la entrega? ¿Cuándo puede hacer la entrega? ¿Cuál es el presupuesto? ¿Cuál es el presupuesto? ¿Me puede enviar la factura? ¿Me puede enviar la factura? Muy bien, vamos a practicar. Let's practice. Can you say this in Spanish? Can you send me the estimate? Can you send me the estimate? Have we agreed a budget? When can you send me the contract? Entonces, ¿cómo se dice? How do you say it? Can you send me the estimate? ¿Me puede enviar la estimación? ¿Cómo se dice? Have we agreed a budget? ¿Hemos acordado un presupuesto? How do you say, when can you send me the contract? ¿Cuándo me puede enviar el contrato? Excelente trabajo. Muy bien, eso es todo por hoy. Muchas gracias por ver la clase y nos vemos en la próxima. I will see you next class. Adiós, hasta luego.
Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Hello there, my beautiful friends from SpanishPod101.com. As you might know, my name is Diego.
And I'm Efraín.
And in today's video, we're going to check the most popular names in Mexico.
Yeah, chances are that if you have a friend, a Mexican friend, his name could be in this list.
Yeah, of course.
If you want to confirm it, stay with us.
Yeah, and we are also going to give you the belonging nicknames for each name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, enjoy this video.
Woo!
Okay guys, so even though there are thousands and thousands of names, we have gathered for you the most common ones used in Mexico. So let's start this list with the names for boys, okay?
Okay.
So the first one.
The first one is Juan. Okay, Juan. And the nickname for this name is Juanito.
Yeah,
It's pretty common to hear that.
exactly. Number two, we have Jose Luis. Yeah, this is a compound name. Jose Luis. Jose Luis. You can also hear it, or the nickname is Chelis, or even Joselu, or even Pepelu. Yeah.
Okay.
And even if you hear just the name Luis, normally the nickname for Luis is Huicho.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, the third one is Jose. And Jose, well, is the short part of Jose Luis, the first part.
The first part.
Okay, for Jose, we have this nickname, Pepe. Pretty common to hear it.
Pretty common, Pepe.
Uh-huh.
So the next one is Francisco. Francisco, and the nickname for Francisco is either Paco or Pancho.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one, Antonio. And Antonio has this nickname, Toño or Tony.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Yep. Yeah, one of my friends is Toño.
Yeah, one of your best friends.
One of my best friends is Toño. Good. Okay, so the next one is Jesus. Jesus. And the nickname for Jesus could be either Chucho or Chuy.
Yeah, cool. Okay, the next one is Miguel Ángel. Miguel Ángel. Miguel Ángel. And the nickname for this one is Mickey or Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
For Miguel.
For Miguel, rather, yeah. But...
Miguel, Mike. Well.
Okay, guys, so the next one is Pedro. Pretty common as well.
Yeah.
Pedro. And you can also hear the nickname Perico.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is Alejandro. Alejandro. And the nickname is Alex or Ale.
That's correct. Yeah. Another one that is very common is Manuel. Manuel. And for Manuel, we have the nickname Manu or even Manolo.
Okay. Well, the next one is Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos. We have the nickname is Juanca, JC,
Yeah, JC.
Yeah, you see, like in English. And for Juan only, no, for Carlos we have Charlie.
Oh yeah,
Just
that's very
for
common.
Carlos.
Just for Carlos.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. Good. So another one that we have is Roberto. Roberto. And for Roberto, we have two main ones to make nicknames. And these are Beto
Okay.
and also Robert.
Robert.
Yeah.
Now we have Fernando. And you can say Nando. You can call him as Nando or Fer.
Yeah, like
Fer.
you split the name. Fernando.
Fer.
Fernando.
And Nando. Okay,
That's
yeah.
correct.
Yeah, but,
Good.
you
So
know.
another one very common is Daniel. For Daniel, you can call a Daniel either Danny,
Ajá.
or even some people say Dan,
Ajá.
or even Danny Boy.
Danny Boy.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, okay, now guys, in the last years, the names have changed a lot.
Yep.
So even though these names are very common, some of them are kind of old-fashioned. So nowadays, I have known a lot of very young people here in Mexico whose names, but the new popular names are Santiago. We also have Leonardo's,
Leonardo and Matias.
Matias as well.
Matias.
Matias. Nice.
Okay, let's continue with girl names. Okay, so you can hear Maria. And Maria is a very traditional name in this country, but it is not very popular as itself. You can rather find it in a compound name, yeah, like María José, María Guadalupe, María del Carmen,
María Fernanda.
María Fernanda. Okay, so let's start with these ones. And the first one is María Guadalupe. María Guadalupe. Okay, and you can call her if you have a friend whose name is... Okay, the nickname is Marilu.
Yeah, Marilu. It's
Yeah.
very, very cute. Marilu.
Marilu.
So the next one is María Fernanda, like our friend. María Fernanda, if you have a friend who's María Fernanda, the nickname is either Marifer or Mafer.
Yeah, you can find her in the Spanish pod and
In the videos, we have some videos with Mafer.
Mafer. We
Good.
call her like that. Okay, the next one is María del Carmen. María del Carmen. And you can call her Mari Carmen.
Mari Carmen.
Mari Carmen.
Yeah, exactly. And the last one that we have is María José. María José. And the nickname for María José is either Marijo
Yep.
or Majo.
Majo.
Yeah.
I have a friend. Many friends.
Many Majos?
Yeah,
Many Majos?
I like that name though.
Majo.
Yep.
Good. Now, as you can obviously infer from this, the nickname for Maria is just Mari.
Mari.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue now with Guadalupe. Guadalupe. And, well, the nickname for this name is Lupe or Lupita. This is a very common name in Mexico because we have La Virgen de Guadalupe.
Yeah, nice. Nice cultural note. Okay, so another very common name is Jimena. Okay, and for Jimena, you have the nickname Mena or just Jime. Yeah, it's like we also split the name Jime or just Mena.
Mena. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the next one is Verónica. Verónica. And the nickname for this name is Vero. Vero. Oye, Vero.
Oye, Vero.
Oye, Vero.
Some people say Verito.
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 Can also say Verito.
Good, good.
Like our friend, Vero.
Yeah, like Vero, like our friend.
Yeah.
Good. Well, and another very common one is Juana. And for Juana, we have either the nickname is Juanis or even Chana. Chana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the next one is Margarita. Margarita. The nickname is Maggie. Maggie, Margot, or Marga. The last one is not that common. Maggie is more common.
Maggie is the most common one.
Yep.
Maggie. Like the sauce.
Like the sauce.
Maggie.
Ándale. Okay, we have given to you the most popular names for our generation. But lately, some other names have arisen. Let me give you 3 of them. The first one is Regina. 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 The nickname, Gina. Okay. The next one, Sofia. Nickname, Sophie. Or the last one, Camila. The nickname for this name is Cam or Cami.
Nice. Now, last but not the least, there are other names that obviously have an influence from our neighbors, from the States, or in general from the English culture. So it wouldn't be strange to find girls here with names such as Michelle, very common, Emily, Kimberly. We have also Allison,
Melanie.
And Melanie, of course. Yeah. So it wouldn't be strange to find girls with this name.
Vaya, eso nunca lo hubiera esperado, ¿eh?
No, ni yo. But for boys as well. I mean, we have Kevin. Very common as well.
Oh, sí.
Or Jordan. Yeah.
That's it for today, my beautiful family of SpanishPod101.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give us your thumbs up, share this video with other learners, write your comments down there, click on the notifications, subscribe to this beautiful channel so you can know when we upload a new video and you can see us again.
Exactly.
These beautiful faces. Okay, see you in our next video. Hasta luego.
See you guys.
Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Hola, soy Brenda Romagnelo, tu profesora de español. Hello and welcome to another Spanish class. Today we're going to have a look at the pronunciation of consonants in Spanish. And specifically today we're going to be comparing the English language and the Spanish language and we are going to talk about the most distinctive consonants, the ones that are different, yes, and they're usually the ones that cause a little bit of problem for English speakers, for example, when they speak Spanish, because they are different and we pronounce them differently in Spanish. All the consonants basically are pretty much the same. We use them and we say exactly the same in English and in Spanish, but we are going to have a look at some that are actually different in Spanish. We're going to start with B and B. B and B. Can you see here? So it doesn't matter if it is a B or a V, yeah, how we say it in English. In Spanish, it will always be either B, will always be with a soft B. A soft B. Okay, so we don't differentiate in Spanish between B and V. Okay, let's have a look at some examples. Repeat after me. Bueno. Bueno. Barato. Barato. Vela. Vela. Viernes. Viernes. So I don't know if you have noticed, but when Spanish speakers speak English, that's why we say sometimes very good, very, very good. Because in Spanish we don't have very, we don't use the V as that, like that. We don't pronounce the V like that. The next one is se, se. So this is the C in Spanish. So the C will have a different sound in Spanish depending on which vowel we have after the C. So for CA, CO, CU in Spanish, the C is going to turn into a K sound. Yeah, so we're gonna say Ka, Ko, Ku. Repite. Ka, Ko, Ku. Por ejemplo, casa, como, cuál. Okay, and if we have a CE or CI, we are going to say, we are going to pronounce the C with that S sound, with an S sound. Por ejemplo, cerca, cielo, cerca, cielo. So remember, we're gonna say ca, co, cu, se, si. And be careful if you are Italian or if you know a little bit of Italian, sometimes you tend to say ceci, because that's how they pronounce it in Italian. So coccina, sometimes you tend to say coccina or things like that for cocina. We don't say like that, it's always se, like an S sound for se and si, cocina. The next one is cu, cu. So I know that we always say that we pronounce absolutely every letter in Spanish, but there is an exception. For example, when we have Q-U-E or Q-U-I, in Spanish we're not going to pronounce the U in between. It's not going to be cue, cui. That's a mistake, cue, cui. We say instead que, qui. Que, qui. Por ejemplo, repite después de mí. Repeat after me. Queso, queso. ¿Quién? ¿Quién? It's incorrect to say queso and quien. We have to say queso, ¿quién? The next one is G. G. So first I'm telling you what is the letter, how we say the letter in Spanish. G is G. But we're going to have different pronunciations depending on, again, what vowel follows this letter. So, for example, if we have G-A, G-O, G-U, we're going to say the G sound. Yes, G. For example, ga, go, gu, ga, go, gu. Por ejemplo, gato, gato, golf, golf, mucho gusto, gusto. See, so here is a G sound. But if we have G-E or G-I, then it's going to be like a soft H, yes? And actually in Spain and certain parts of Latin America, in certain countries, the H is a lot stronger than other countries, yes? So in this case, it will be G-I-G-E would be he, he, he. But in Spain, it's really strong. It's actually something like he. But remember, yes, so if we have G-E or G-I, it's going to be he. Por ejemplo, gente, gente, gimnasio, gimnasio. And the other difference is if we have the G-U-E and G-U-I, exactly the same as we were talking about the Q-U-E and Q-U-I, we're not going to pronounce that U in between. We're going to say ge, gi. Yeah? So this is so that we know how to say ge, gi in Spanish, because we know how to say ga, go, gu, but then how do you say ge, gi if you say G-I and G-E is he, he? Well, you put a U in between, and that's how we say ge, gi. Remember, it's not going to be gue, gui. So we are going to say, por ejemplo, guerra, guerra, guitarra, guitarra. The next one is la jota, la jota. That's how we say J in Spanish, J, la jota. So la jota, it always has the very strong H sound. It's a little bit stronger than the H in Spanish. That's why I think Spanish speakers, when we speak English, we say house and how are you, no? Because for us, the H is very strong. It's a lot stronger. There's a lot more air going through your throat when you say a G-I, G-E and a J, no, a jota. So all the jotas, all the vowels after a jota will be with a H sound. Por ejemplo, Japón, Japón. The next one is la H, the H. So I'm not sure if you have noticed this, but in Spanish, the H, basically we write it in some words, but it's never pronounced. The H in Spanish is silent. So be careful with this one, because if you're an English speaker, you tend to like pronounce it as a house or how are you, and with a H sound. In Spanish, pretend is not there, okay? So we don't say hola, we say hola. We don't say hermano, we say hermano, okay? And sometimes it could be in the middle of a word. Por ejemplo, zanahoria, for carrot, zanahoria. So you can see it's in the middle of the word, but it's like it doesn't exist. So we only have to write it in Spanish. The only exception is, of course, if we have a CH, CH, CH. So if you have the C and the H together, it's the same as in English. It has that ch sound, ch. Por ejemplo, repeat after me, chao, chao, China, China. In this case, it will affect the pronunciation of a CH. You need to pronounce the H after a C. The next one is the double L. See, double L, double L, double L. There are many different ways to pronounce the double L in Spanish, yes, and there are different ways depending on what country you are, but mostly, for example, where I'm from in Argentina, we have what we call yeísmo, yes, which is basically to pronounce the double L and the Y exactly the same. And it's something like, depending on, actually within Argentina, there are many different accents, yes, within one single country. And for example, in Buenos Aires, where you have the porteño accent, it's more of a sh sound. So we are going to say me llamo, yes, me llamo for I am cold, me llamo, or lluvia, see, lluvia. But where I'm from Cordoba, we have more of a softer J, like that, and we say lluvia, lluvia, or me llamo, me llamo. But it depends in what country, in which Spanish country you are in, how they will pronounce the double L. So which variation should you choose? Well, it depends on your preference. For example, if you have a preference for, or you know someone, or you wish to travel to Mexico, or if you prefer Colombia or Spain, España, Argentina, depending on what your preference is, maybe you want to pick that specific variation of the culture or country that you prefer the most. If not, maybe go with a general G. Yeah, so me llamo or me llamo. The next one is ñ. La ñ. La ñ is very distinctive of the Spanish language, and it will be similar to that ñ, that ing sound that we have in English. Por ejemplo, mañana, mañana, baño, baño. Okay? It's very important that you pronounce it. The next one, which we have already sort of touched upon, is Y, yes? La Y. Y, which literally means the Greek I in Spanish. And like I was saying, for example, in Argentina, where I'm from, it's very common in Buenos Aires to say yo, yes, or yerba for, you know, the specific Argentinian tea that we drink is called yerba, and it has a Y, a Y, so that's why we say yerba. But I am from Cordoba, and I think the Cordoba accent is a little bit more like normal or neutral. They also use it like that in Colombia and other parts of Latin America, and it's more like yerba or yo. Yes, but it also, some people pronounce it as yo or yerba. The next one is, I'm sure your friend, if you have met before, if not, let me introduce you to la R or R. Yes, R or R. So this is the R. Okay, and this letter gives a little bit of a headache to most Spanish students because it's trilled. Yes, we have that trill R sound. And if you think about it, it sounds like a Scottish R. So if you want to think about a Scottish person, maybe you can see the R, how it's done in Spanish. But it's not always trilled, okay? I'll show you how to trill it in a second. So what you have to do is you have to open your mouth. Yeah, the sound doesn't come through from your throat, it comes from your mouth, yes, from the tongue moving against the palate at the top, and that's what pronounced the sound, not from a guttural or a, like a throat sound, as for example in French or other languages. Okay, I don't speak French, so I'm just guessing. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Yes, R. Look, if I stop my tongue for a bit, the sound doesn't come out. So you need to let the tongue be really soft, like tilted against the palate like this, and let the air flow and do this motion against the palate. That's what creates the it's kind of like a purring, like a car, a cat purring. Okay, so it's important that you try it, because sometimes you will change the meaning of a word and you will sound very natural if you actually even try to do it, even if you think that you can't pronounce it. Okay, so let's have a look when it's trilled and when it's not. It's not trilled, sorry, it is trilled. Let's start with the trilled at the beginning of a word. For example, rápido, rápido. Okay, fast, rápido. And it's also trilled when you have it in a double R, doble R or doble R. Okay, por ejemplo, perro, perro, o carro, carro. You see, you have that double R in the middle of a word. But it's not trilled if it is only one R in the middle of a word. For example, pero, caro, caro. And it's not trilled when it's at the end of a word. For example, amor, comer, amor, comer. Okay, so if it is at the end of the word, not trilled. If it's only one R in the middle, not trilled. If it is one R at the beginning, trilled. Two double R's, two R's in the middle, trilled. Okay, and look how important it is to at least try to pronounce it, because you're either saying dog or bat, yeah, perro, pero, or you're saying car or expensive, yes, carro, expensive, carro, or caro, yes, expensive. So it is important. Of course, the context will help you get your message across, but it's you will save the Spanish speaker time of trying to figure out what you're trying to say if you just say it perfectly fine. It will be way easier for you to be understood. So even if you try, and I know it's frustrating sometimes, even if you go perro, right? If you try to make the emphasis, try to make an effort, it will still sound like you're trying to say dog and not however. And the last one is zeta, the Z, zeta. So the Z in Spanish, in Latin America, it sounds like an S. Yes, so I'm not sure if you have noticed this, but for example, in Latin America, for shoe, we say zapato, zapato. Okay, zapato. But in Spain, they have it, they pronounce it differently, and then the Z will be pronounced by putting your tongue in between your teeth, and it will sound something like, I'm not from Spain, so obviously, please cut me some slack here, but it's something like zapato, 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 okay? I know that they pronounce it as well when there is a C in the middle of a word, but that's a different, it's not related to the Z here, yes, but that is a difference between the Z between Latin America and Spain. All right, just to summarize, let's just practice all the pronunciation of some words that we have learned. Repeat after me. Repite después de mí. Casa, vela, barato. ¿Cómo? Cerca, cielo, queso, quién, gato, golf, gusto, gente, gimnasio, guerra, guitarra, hola, hermana, me llamo, mañana, yo, rápido, perro, pero, caro, comer, zapato. Muy bien, muchísimas gracias por ver la clase. Thank you very much for watching today's lesson, and I will see you next class. Adiós.
Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Oye, Efraín, ¿cuál es tu animal mexicano favorito?
Mi animal mexicano favorito es uno que se llama ajolote. ¿Lo conoces?
A huevo, sí, vi algunos de ellos en el Museo del Ajolote. Me pregunto por qué unos piensan que el animal es muy feo, mientras que otros piensan que es un animal muy bonito.
La verdad es que es un animal muy bonito. Pude ver de cerca algunos de ellos en un acuario en Guadalajara.
Qué padre, ¿por qué no me cuentas de eso con unas chelas?
Ok, me suena bien. ¿Tienes alguna cerveza preferida?
Pues me gusta mucho la cerveza oscura, pero tomaremos solo una.
Vamos, una no es ninguna.
Bueno, está bien, tomaremos 3 cada quien.
Hello there, my beautiful family of SpanishPod101.com. As you might know, my name is Diego.
And I'm Efraín.
And today we have a special guest who is...
Yes.
And today we're going to look at the topic, what is the difference between algunos, algunas, even algún, alguna, and unos and unas. It's kind of confusing, but in this video we're going to clarify it. So, if you're interested, enjoy this video.
Woo!
Okay guys, so in the previous skit we mentioned some of the most common Mexican slang words.
And the first one we mentioned was que padre. Well, it wasn't the first one, but we are going to mention that first. But it was que padre. Padre means cool. And the second one, a huevo.
Yeah, a huevo, which is basically an affirmation. It's very similar to saying claro in standard Spanish, or in English we say of course.
Okay. But it is pretty informal.
Pretty informal, yeah.
So you just have to use it for the lols or with your friends.
Exactly.
And the last one we mentioned was chela. Chela, which means beers.
Which is, in other words, Efrain's favorite beverage. Chela, the beers. Very good. Now, what about the ajolotes?
Okay, the ajolotes are an endemic species here in Mexico.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly. Where can we find ajolotes here in Mexico?
We can find them in Lago de Xochimilco,
the oldest part in Mexico City. So, guys, if you come to Mexico, be sure to go to Lago de Xochimilco.
And of course, you can also visit el Museo del Ajolote, so you can see one of them
like in real.
Close.
Yeah, it's pretty
real.
Close. Okay, guys, so many Spanish learners have doubts about when to use algún, algunos, algunas, unos, unas, or even un. So, because some of them can translate it as some or any, but even a or an. So in this video we will make the difference of each one of them. Let's start with the first one. The first one is un and una, which can be translated as a or an in English. For example,
Ese es un avión. Ese es un avión.
Good. However, algún and alguna can also be translated as a or an. For example,
¿Tienes alguna playera que me prestes? ¿Tienes alguna playera que me prestes?
On the other hand, we have algún and alguna, which could be roughly translated as any. For example,
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta? ¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta?
However, unos, unas, algunos, and algunas can also be translated as some. For example,
Luis siempre lleva algunas monedas en su cartera. Luis siempre lleva algunas monedas en su cartera.
or
En el refri encontrarás unos refrescos llenos hasta la mitad. En el refri encontrarás unos refrescos llenos hasta la mitad.
Okay guys, so the devil lies in the details, and what I mean with this is that sometimes algunos, algunas, unos and unas can work as synonyms, but we do have major differences which we're going to cover right now. And the first one is unos, and unos can be used for approximations, and in English it is roughly translated as around. For example,
Tengo unos 30 pesos en mi bolsillo. Tengo unos 30 pesos en mi bolsillo.
number 2.
En ese estadio caben unas 30,000 personas. En ese estadio caben unas 30,000 personas.
Number 3.
He tenido unos 17 carros a lo largo de toda mi vida. He tenido unos 17 carros a lo largo de toda mi vida.
Number 4.
Ese chico mide unos 160 centímetros. Ese chico mide unos 160 centímetros.
Another big difference here is when we use algunos de or algunas de, because in this case this is going to be the most common way to translate some of. For example,
Algunas de mis amigas son inglesas. Algunas de mis amigas son inglesas.
nice. Number 2.
Estos son algunos de los mejores jugadores de fútbol que hay en este país. Estos son algunos de los mejores jugadores de fútbol que hay en este país.
Number 3.
Tocar la guitarra y cantar son algunas de mis amplias habilidades. Tocar la guitarra y cantar son algunas de mis amplias habilidades.
Cool. And finally, number 4.
La CIA desclasificó algunos de sus documentos. La CIA desclasificó algunos de sus documentos.
Okay guys, so be careful when you contrast with others. Why? Because even though in English you have some others, you won't say algunos otros in Spanish. You will just say otros. Now, be careful because you can use algunos or unos or even algunas and unas and use other for contrasting. Let's see a couple of examples. Number 1.
¿Por qué algunas personas hablan español y otras no? ¿Por qué algunas personas hablan español y otras no? Or also you can say, ¿por qué unas personas hablan español y otras no?
Number 2.
La vida es como una montaña rusa. Algunas veces te toca estar en lo alto, otras en el fondo. La vida es como una montaña rusa. Algunas veces te toca estar en lo alto y otras en el fondo. Or also you can say, la vida es como una montaña rusa. Unas veces te toca estar en lo alto y otras en el fondo.
That's so deep. Nice. Or number 3.
Algunas personas creen en los ovnis y otros no. Algunas personas creen en los ovnis y otros no. Or also you can say, unas personas creen en los ovnis y otros no.
Good. So as you have seen here, you don't say algunos otros. You just say otros for some others. Finally guys, let's see that algunos and algunas can also be translated as a few. Okay? So let's see here that this is the opposite of nadie or even nada. Let's see some examples for this. ¿Sabes? Nadie cree que la Tierra sea plana.
Algunas personas todavía creen que la Tierra es plana. Algunas personas todavía creen que la Tierra es plana.
Nadie viaja durante la cuarentena.
Algunas personas todavía viajan durante la cuarentena. Algunas personas todavía viajan durante la cuarentena.
No dormí nada ayer.
Solo dormí algunas horas ayer. Solo dormí algunas horas ayer.
Nadie entiende mi sentido del humor.
Solo algunas personas entienden mi sentido del humor. Solo algunas personas entienden mi sentido del humor.
Okay guys, so in summary, today we learned that algunos, algunas, and unos and unas can work sometimes as synonyms. However, we do have some major differences. Today we look at 4 major differences. The first one is that we can use unos or unas for approximations. Number 2, that we can use algunos de or algunas de for meaning some of. The third one is that we don't join together algunos otros, we just say algunos and then otros. The fourth is that the opposite of nada could be algunos or even algunas.
That's it for today, my beautiful friends of SpanishPod101.com. If you like this video, please give us your thumbs up, share this video with all the learners, and of course, subscribe to this beautiful channel. Click on the notification so you can know when we just upload a new video. And what else? Well, you can get your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com. Okay, and where you can find tons and tons of free PDF cheat sheet.
Cheat sheets?
Yeah. Well, see you in our next video. Hasta luego.
Bye.
Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Hola, soy Brenda Romagnello, tu profesora de español. Bienvenidos a tu clase. Welcome to your Spanish class. My name is Brenda Romagnello, and today I'm going to teach you the genitive case in Spanish, how it works, and how to form it in Spanish. So what is the genitive case to start with? It's when in English, for example, we'd say, this is Anna's book, or Anna's house, Anna's mother, Anna's sister. That is the genitive case. When we establish belonging, yes, or when we establish the relationship between people and things, in English we're gonna have that apostrophe, yes, after the person that is possessing, yes, or that we want to establish the possession relationship with. And then you have the apostrophe, the S, and there are of course other rules. And then we'll have whatever this person is possessing or the relation that we want to establish. Yes, Anna's house. What we want to say here is that the house is Anna's. Yes, Anna owns the house, or the house is hers. Okay, so we're going to learn how to do this relationship, how it works, the genitive case in Spanish. There are two ways to show ownership or personal or family relationships in Spanish. We can say, number one, Marta es la madre de Ana. Yes, we can say Marta is Anna's mother. Or we can also say Marta es su madre. Yes, Marta es su madre. So Marta is her mother. On the second example, the family relationship is given by the possessive adjective su, which in this case means her. So we're going to have a look at the different possessive adjectives, yes, in the case of Marta es su madre, see, Marta is her mother. We're going to learn the different possessive adjectives in Spanish. To say my in Spanish, yeah, it's not correct to say de mí, of me. It doesn't make sense in Spanish, it doesn't work like that. We'll have a look at that later. But to say my in Spanish, el adjetivo posesivo singular would be mi. Mi, and plural would be mis. We'll talk about this in a minute to give you extra information on how to use these possessive adjectives. For your informal, we are going to say tú and the plural tus. We don't say de ti. Don't worry, we'll talk about this in a minute. If you want to say your formal, yes, if you want to establish that relationship, then we have to say de usted, yes, of you formal, de él or de ella, yes, so of him or of her. We'll talk about this in a minute, but if you want to use a possessive adjective, if you want to say her or his, then we say su. So su significa your formal, his and her. And sus is the plural form, so it will also mean your formal, his and her. To say our in Spanish, you can say de nosotros, de nosotras, see, of us, yes, of we would say the literal translation is, and the possessive adjective for our would be nuestro or nuestra, and the plural form is nuestros, nuestras. Your for vosotros would be de vosotros, de vosotras, and the possessive adjective would be vuestro, vuestra for the singular, and vuestros, vuestras for the plural. Don't worry, we'll have a look at some examples. Your meaning from you all in Latin America, remember, ustedes means you all in Latin America, and vosotros means you all in Spain. So we can say de ustedes, of you all, and the possessive adjective will be su and sus, singular and plural. And there will also be de ellos, de ellas, sí, of them, or the possessive adjective will also be the same as ustedes, su and sus. So in Spanish, we don't have the genitive case to establish belonging or possessions. We have to say the whole phrase using de, which means of. So in Spanish, we don't say my uncle's son like that. We just have to say the son of my uncle. So in Spanish, we would say el hijo de mi tío, the son of my uncle, el hijo de mi tío. Or Anna's house, we would have to say the house of Anna. We have to say la casa de Ana, la casa de Ana, the house of Anna. I know this is something different that we need to get used to, but if you want to do that relationship, establish that relationship of possession in Spanish, just think about the whole phrase. How would you say that in English? The weird way, yes? So the house of Anna, or the uncle of the son of my uncle, yes? And then you'll be able to do it and translate it into Spanish. There are some other things that we need to pay attention to. Number one is that yo and tú cambian, so they change. They are irregular after the preposition de. So if we have de plus yo, we say de mí. Okay, we don't say de yo, it's incorrect. And de tú becomes de ti, not de tú. Okay, that's also incorrect. They're irregular, we have to change them. Now, the only thing is de mí and de ti are not used for possessions. So de mí and de ti are not used for possessions, like we were looking at the previous table before. We say de mí and de ti. Doesn't make sense for possessions. We have to say mi, mis, or tú and tus. Something important to talk about the possessive adjectives in Spanish is that they are going to match what we are possessing. They are going to match in gender and in number what we are possessing, and not the person possessing, okay? Not the relationship establishing by the person that owns or belongs to something. Okay, so let's have a look at this example. La madre de nosotros, la madre de nosotros, so here madre is femenino singular, so we have to say our, and remember we have 4 different options. We can say nuestro, nuestra, nuestros, nuestras. Which one would you pick for our? Remember, we're not going to match nosotros, we, okay? We're not going to say nuestros madres, okay? Nuestros madres is incorrect because here we're matching the mother, what we own, what we have the relationship with. So we have to say nuestra madre, because madre is femenino and singular. Can you see this here? If we were now talking about our father, yes, el padre de nosotros, see, the father of us, el padre de nosotros, as you can see, we, the possessive people, yeah, the people that are possessing, or the relationship is the same. We're talking about we, and our father. But now we changed from madre to padre. Now padre is masculino and singular. Therefore, we need to say our father is nuestro padre. Okay, does that make sense? Remember, we have to match what we own, not the person owning the thing or the person. Vamos a practicar. Let's practice. I want you to complete the following sentences with the correct possessive adjective. So remember, in between brackets, you're going to have the relationship of him, of her, of us, etc. And I want you to use mi, tú, su, etc., etc. Respuestas. Ellos son sus primos. Ellos son sus primos. So remember, here sus is the plural because we are saying, we're matching it with primos. See, they're his cousins. The cousins is plural and is his, we want to say his, so we have to say sus. Yo soy su hija. Yo soy su hija. Número 3. Ella es nuestra abuela. ¿Vuestra madre tiene 56 años? The next one. Tu novio es de Portugal. Su esposa es abogada. Ella es muy inteligente. The next one. Nuestras tías son amables y buenas. Nuestras tías. Mi suegra no es amable. Mi suegra. De vosotros, the next one is vuestros padres tienen los ojos marrones. I hope you were able to use the correct possessive adjectives in these cases, and remember, we're matching what we're possessing in this case. Now let's do this exercise. You have to rewrite the following genitive cases in English into Spanish, like the example. So, por ejemplo, Melissa's apple, we are going to say, remember, if you have to think about it, how we say it in English, the long way would be the apple of Melissa. So in Spanish would be la manzana de Melissa. Respuestas. Juan's keys, we're going to say las llaves de Juan. Anna's book, el libro de Ana. Pedro's dog, el perro de Pedro. Laura's car is going to be el coche, carro de Laura. Roberto's house is going to be la casa de Roberto. Mario and Julio's cat, el gato de Mario y Julio. Daniela's plate, el plato de Daniela. Karina's friend is el amigo o la amiga de Karina. Julia's bed is la cama de Julia. Manuel's brother is el hermano de Manuel. Christian's father is el padre de Christian. Y Luis' mother is la madre de Luis. Okay, so remember, we don't have the genitive case per se like that in English. We have to say the whole entire phrase to establish the belonging. Anna's house, la casa de Ana. Anna's mother, la mamá o la madre de Ana. I really hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching y nos vemos en la próxima clase. I will see you next class. Adiós.
Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Ay, Efra, hace muchísimo calor aquí afuera, debimos quedarnos adentro.
Diego, mejor concéntrate en esta máscara. Por fuera tiene estos lindos detalles y por dentro se parece mucho a las máscaras de tamaño real.
Sí, es muy bonita. De hecho, se parece a la máscara que tengo dentro de mi casa.
Bueno, vamos adentro. Así podemos ver también la TV.
Sí, espera, pero creo que dejé mis llaves dentro de mi carro.
Ok, puedes llamar a tus papás para que vengan y traigan las otras llaves.
No es una buena idea porque están fuera de la ciudad.
¿Y ahora qué hacemos?
Hello there, my beautiful, beautiful friends of SpanishPod101.com. As you might know, my name is Diego.
And I'm Efra.
And in today's video, we're going to check the difference between dentro and adentro, but also fuera and afuera. Yeah, they seem very similar, but we're going to check if there is any difference between them. Okay, so if you're interested, guys, enjoy this video. Woo!
Well, so during the skit we mentioned a lot las famosas máscaras mexicanas.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mexican wrestling is very popular here, right?
Indeed, and basically for every foreigner it's a must to do when you are here in Mexico, to go to a wrestling fighting, right?
Yeah, and you can find it in La Arena, México.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a place where you can find souvenirs like this one.
Yeah, this one, which is obviously a mascara, but this is for a very small person.
Well, actually, this is a keychain.
Yeah, and you can find many souvenirs like T-shirts or even these mascaras, whose the name of the owner of this mascara is Dos Caras, right?
Dos Caras.
That's the name of the wrestler.
Yeah, and well, inside the show you can also find many people shouting loud and getting out their frustrations.
Exactly.
And a lot of slang.
Saying a lot of bad
Muévete.
words. Hijo de la- Yeah, and you know, all that type of stuff.
Fuera! Fuera! Okay.
Very good, guys. Okay, so now let's continue with what is the difference. You may have heard already dentro, adentro, fuera, and afuera, but is there any difference? Well, fuera and afuera are both adverbs of place. That means that they mean the same thing. So it doesn't matter whether you use it for verbs of movement or static verbs.
Yeah.
Note something very interesting here, and that's in Mexico we prefer to use fuera for static places. Okay, in Spain it could be used for movement or static places, but at least in Mexico fuera is preferred over afuera when referring to a static place. So we have some examples for you.
No puedes estar fuera de los límites establecidos. No puedes estar fuera de los límites establecidos.
Nice, very good.
Another one. Esa casa solo está pintada por fuera. Esa casa solo está pintada por fuera.
Very good, very good.
Okay, the last one. El carro tiene muchos detalles por fuera. El carro tiene muchos detalles por fuera.
Nice, very good. Now, what happens with afuera? Afuera is also an adverb of place, and it could be used. It could be used in the same way as fuera. Okay.
Yep.
So in that case, we can use afuera with verbs of movement or static verbs.
Yeah.
Okay. However, in Mexico, we prefer the use of afuera over fuera. We're referring to verbs of movement.
Okay.
Of movement. Okay. So, for example.
Okay, the first example. Ven, platiquémoslo afuera. Ven, platiquémoslo afuera. The next one. Me empujó hacia afuera. Me empujó hacia afuera.
That's rude. Very good,
Okay.
guys. Very good.
And we also have, mira, qué lindo está afuera. Mira, qué lindo está afuera.
Nice. Okay, guys. So as we said before, you can use fuera and afuera indistinctly. So that means that you can use it when referring to a static verb or a verb of movement. Okay. So that's why you can use afuera or fuera in this last case. Pretty good. Now, finally, guys, a note here is that we can use afuera with certain prepositions. These prepositions are desde, de, hasta, hacia, and even por and para. We will give you just a couple of examples.
The first one. El perro está corriendo hacia afuera de la casa. El perro está corriendo hacia afuera de la casa. Okay, the next one. No te quiero ver. Vete para afuera. No te quiero ver. Vete para afuera.
Okay, guys, so now we also have the word afueras. Yes, with that S, afueras. And we normally use it with en las afueras, or we can also say a las afueras. Okay? So, for example, we can say, tenemos una fiesta en las afueras de la ciudad.
Cool.
Tenemos una fiesta en las afueras de la ciudad. Yeah. And now we also have some expressions, really good expressions with the word fuera. So let's check them out.
Okay, so the first expression is fuera de la realidad. Fuera de la realidad. For example, esas ideas están fuera de la realidad. Esas ideas están fuera de la realidad.
Okay, another
Ajá.
one that I like a lot is fuera de control.
Ujú.
Out of control. Fuera de control.
Ya.
Por ejemplo, tu amigo Paquito está fuera de control. Está ligando con todas. Tu amigo Paquito está fuera de control. Está ligando con todas.
Oh.
Se parece a ti.
The next one, fuera de lo normal o fuera del ordinario. They are the same. They have the same meaning. For example, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Nada fuera de lo ordinario. ¿Todo bien? Nada fuera de lo ordinario.
Now guys, what happens with dentro and adentro? Well, in this case we do have a major difference, and that's that adentro is rather used when you mean a verb of movement, okay? When you want to use a verb of movement, adentro is preferred, okay? And dentro means just actually in the inside, okay? So let's see here a couple of examples of dentro.
El oso está dentro de la cueva. El oso está dentro de la cueva. Or, las llaves están dentro del carro. Las llaves están dentro del carro.
Very good. As you saw in these examples, dentro normally goes followed by the preposition de. This is not always the case, but normally it is followed by the preposition de.
Yeah.
And as you saw in these examples, when he was saying dentro, it means something static. It's not a movement.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Now adentro, on the contrary, it includes a movement. So it must be followed by a verb of movement. So let's see here one example.
Al llegar, el anfitrión nos condujo hacia adentro del restaurante. Al llegar, el anfitrión nos condujo hacia adentro del restaurante.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice. Or remember also that adentro, especially in Latin America, has the same meaning of dentro. So yes, we can use in Mexico adentro for meaning a static, not a movement, not a verb of movement.
Sí.
For example,
Luis está adentro de la casa. Luis está adentro de la casa.
yeah, this is not the case in Spain, where they would rather say Luis está dentro de la casa. But in Mexico, that's okay, that's fine. Very good, guys. Now, let's see
Dentro de.
dentro de, exactly. So, dentro de by itself is one way for us to express the time it takes for something to happen.
Yeah.
Dentro de. For example,
For example, Carlos llega dentro de 10 minutos. Carlos llega dentro de 10 minutos.
that means that it will take 10 minutes for Carlos to arrive.
Yeah.
Very good, nice. Okay, guys, now let's proceed to the summary. As we said before, fuera and afuera can be used similarly. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you want to mean movement or something static.
Yeah.
At least in Latin America, this is the case. If you happen to go to Spain, remember that there is a small difference, and they prefer afuera for movement and fuera for something static.
Yep.
However, when you use dentro and adentro, there is indeed a difference, and that's that dentro is something static.
Yeah.
In Mexico, we can say adentro for something static as well. However, adentro is preferred for verbs of movement,
Yeah.
such as venir adentro, such as
Vamos.
ir adentro, okay?
Ajá.
Correr adentro,
Yep.
exactly, and so on and so forth.
Ok. Diego, vamos adentro de la casa. Está haciendo mucho calor aquí afuera.
Adentro o dentro de la casa.
Come on, man.
Let's go.
That's it for today, my beautiful friends of SpanishPod101.com. Thank you for watching this beautiful video, and if you liked it, give us your thumbs up, share this video with other learners.
write your comments down there, subscribe to this beautiful channel, and if you already subscribed to this beautiful channel, then click on the notifications and well, download your free PDF cheat sheets with tons and tons of topics. Increase your vocabulary set with us. So see you in our next video. Hasta luego. Nos vemos, amigos.
Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Hola, soy Brenda Romagnello, tu profesora de español. Hello, this is Brenda Romagnello, your Spanish teacher. Today we're going to learn how to form the singular and plural forms of the nouns, yes, los sustantivos en español, in Spanish. So the same as in English, when we have only one thing or one person, we're going to say that that's a singular thing, singular. So we call this número en español, see, number. When we want to talk about número, number in Spanish, we make reference if we are talking about one thing, yes, singular, or if we're talking about two or more things, plural. Okay, so certain things, yes, will have a plural form and a singular form. So when we talk about the singular form, el singular, in that case will be one thing of that thing. And if we talk about the plural form of it, then we are going to be referring to two or more things. Por ejemplo, mesa es singular. Yeah, it's singular. We're just saying here table. And the plural form of mesa would be mesas. Okay? And the same, for example, if we say that we're talking about árbol, el singular, árbol, see that's a tree, and el plural, the árbol would be árboles. Árboles. Okay? So that's the plural. We're talking about two or more trees and then two or more tables. So how do we form the plural? Let's have a look at this table. So if the word ends in a vowel, una vocal en español, if the word ends in a vowel, then we're going to add an S at the end. Okay, so like we said before, mesa will become mesas, libro will become libros, silla will become sillas, puerta will become puertas, calle will become calles, puente will become puentes, oso will become osos, coche will become coches, etc. And if the word, yes, if the sustantivos, if the noun ends in a consonant, then we're going to add es after at the end to make this a plural form. Okay, so let's have a look at some examples. Sillón is going to become sillones. Televisión is going to become televisiones. Color is going to become colores. Tenedor, tenedores. Lombriz, lombrices. Nuez, nueces. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to the last two. As you can see, they ended in Z and zeta, but when we put it in the plural form, we are going to transform that Z and it's going to become a C in the plural form. Okay, so whenever you have a Z in the singular form, in the plural, we're going to change that Z for a C. And then we're gonna add ES at the end to form the plural. There's something else that we need to pay attention to in Spanish. So let's have a look at this phrase here. If I say gato, muy bien, gato means cat, so that's our sustantivo, our noun. Now let's say that I want to say that this is the cat, yes? So we're gonna say the cat, we're gonna say in Spanish, el gato, muy bien, el gato. But then say that I want to say that this is a black cat in Spanish, the black cat, right? So we're gonna say el gato negro. Okay, so el gato negro, remember we're gonna have the adjectives after what we're describing in Spanish. That's a difference in word order in Spanish. And now let's say that I want to talk about cats as in plural. Yes, we're talking about two or more cats. How are we going to transform this sentence? Well, we're gonna start with gato, yes, we're going to put it in the plural and we're going to say gatos, okay, gatos. But here it doesn't work like in English. In English you can say the black cats and then it makes all that plural, yes, the black and the. In Spanish we have to basically select the plural and the masculine form of each and specific parts of this sentence. The article, yes, so the noun, yes, cat, and then also the adjective, in this case, black. So we're going to have to say los gatos negros, okay? Los gatos negros. Muy bien. Okay, so what happens, for example, if I have gata? Now, the gata is a female cat, yes? So, gata. How are we gonna say the female cat? We're going to say la gata. La gata, the female cat, okay? And what if this female cat is also black? How are we going to say that? La gata negra. Okay, and then if I want to say that we're talking about two or more cats, how do we transform that in the plural form? We would say las gatas negras. As you can see, this is very important in Spanish. We basically have agreement in the entire sentence. Everything has to be feminine or masculine, yes, or masculino or femenino. Everything has to be singular or plural. Todo tiene que ser singular o plural. Yes, we have to match absolutely everything in a sentence in Spanish. Vamos a practicar. Now, I want you to tell me cómo se dice en español. How do you say this in Spanish? You can pause the video to think of your answer, and when you're ready, just resume the video. Respuestas. Se dice mesa, silla, mesero, copa, vaso, taza de café, botella, servilleta, plato, tenedor, cuchara, cuchillo. Now, I want you to tell me, how do we form the plural of all these things? Respuesta: platos, tazas, tenedores, meseros, cuchillos, mesas, vasos, sillas, botellas, servilletas, copas, cucharas. Muy bien, muy buen trabajo. Good job. Now let's do this exercise. You have to transform these words into their plural form. Are you ready? Let's do it. So take a few minutes to think about the answer, and when you're ready, continue the video. Respuesta: escritorio, escritorios. Vaso, vasos. Lámpara, lámparas. Almohadón, almohadones. Corazón, corazones. Sol, soles. Radiador, radiadores. Colchón, colchones. Muy bien, muy buen trabajo. So that is all for today. Muchas gracias por ver la clase y nos vemos en la próxima. Thank you so much for watching this class, and I will see you in the next one. Adiós.
Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.